Welcome back, everyone. Well, as you know, Veterans Day is coming up. And outside of the fact that when it's Memorial Day or it's Veterans Day, we always think about family outings and get together, have a day off from work or something. But really, it's time that we're supposed to honor the people that serve our country, our veterans. And I could think of no better person to have this conversation with than Denise Romeo, who's Executive Vice President, Saratoga County Chamber of Commerce, and runs the organization here called Veterans Business Council. Welcome back.
Thanks, Jesse. It's good to be with you.
We've talked a bunch of times over the years about all the interesting things you're doing here. And just recently, really great breakfast that we attended. And I just thought it'd be a real opportunity, as I said, for us just to sit down and let's just talk about veterans.
It would be my honor.
I have a feeling that one's going to register with you.
Yeah, absolutely. My favorite subject.
Your daughter's a veteran and your dad, correct?
That's correct.
Minto?
That's right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk a bit about the Veterans Business Council.
Sure.
I think you told me formed in 2014?
It did.
Correct? Okay.
It did.
So tell me about the council. What's the mission and what are you trying to accomplish?
Well, first, I'm very honored to be able to facilitate this council here at the Chamber. It sits 23 veterans that are now prominent in the business community. So when we first came up with this idea, we thought, what better way to be able to help our veterans than to help get them connected, whether it's employment opportunities, entrepreneurial training. So we work on, that is pretty much our mission, is to help facilitate employment entrepreneurial training for our veterans by utilizing different services here in the Capital Region.
Well, think about that for a second. That really is of value to a veteran.
It is.
Think about it. Veterans learn skills in the field. They apply these skills.
That's correct.
They also understand so many things about social interaction by serving in the military.
Of course.
And now you come back, and the one thing you're trying to adjust to is, okay, how am I going to reestablish myself in the community?
That's right.
So you utilize your chamber list, incredible list at Saratoga County Chamber of Commerce, by the way, all categories, to try to hook up skill sets with businesses who might be looking for people.
That's right. And a lot of times what we see, Jesse, is when the veterans come back, they don't know how to translate their skills in the military into now the civilian world.
That's right.
So we have been able to utilize the council members to help work individually, one-on-one, with some of these veterans to, one, know how to translate that military traits training that they have back into the civilian world by taking a look at their resume, because these folks know now, they've been in the business community now for a long time, they know what employers are looking for and how to help them make that translation.
And that's what you're talking about is your council members.
That's correct.
Yes, correct. Got it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you've got a number of businesses who are chamber members who are veterans themselves.
That's correct.
Right, because we know some of them we work with. And, there's the opportunity for them to sort of share that unique brotherhood that they have.
Oh, you bet.
To be able to get it done.
That is a really strong reality.
Oh, you're telling me.
Yeah.
Hey, one other thing. Not every veteran that comes back is as well planted as they need to be.
Correct.
When they arrive. So there are other needs that you run into that might move into different areas of support.
Sure,
correct?
You bet, absolutely.
Okay, so tell me about that. When you recognize that need, what triggers?
Well, we actually have been able to assist by working with the Veterans Housing and Community Coalition. They are the agency that runs the Veterans Homeless Shelters down in Ballston Spa. There's a female house and a male house. And these are special individuals that need some help. So one of the examples of how we've been able to assist them is we helped them, that agency, make a connection with Home Depot here very recently. And Home Depot awarded a $25,000 grant for this agency down in Ballston Spa to build a garage. And why that garage is important is because they are always offered donations of clothing and furniture and things of that nature, but they didn't have a place to store that.
Right.
And a lot of times they had to turn down, which is something that agency doesn't want to do. So that garage is actually being built as we sit here today. So that's going to allow for that, and it's also going to allow for those veterans to be able to really bring whatever personal items that they may have, and most of the times it's not a lot, but it also gives them now a space to be able to keep their personal stuff while they're going through this transition.
Going through the transition.
Yeah,
A
so
little bit
it's
of a
really
backstory here,
awesome.
because the reason she and I are smiling at each other is that this is Cheryl Hage Perez.
It is
So
Cheryl
if
Hage
anybody
Perez.
watches Look at All, they
You
know
betcha.
who Cheryl is
You bet.
and her organization. And Andrew and I have been to Guardian House. We've been to the different facilities.
Special
and
places.
They're unbelievably special places. And it just struck me because I thought about this when Cheryl and I were talking about storage. There's a veteran whose all their belongings was confined to a box.
That's right.
And
right.
that box meant so much to that veteran. You know, and if you looked at it, it was
Absolutely.
just
It's the only thing they
things that
had.
just had personal memories, attachments, and whatever.
Of course,
but think
yeah.
about how that helps them in the transition, right?
Absolutely. That is just good stuff, and we are very thankful to Home Depot for that very generous grant.
Yes, yeah, for sure. When it comes to financing, do you work with organizations like the SBA?
We do.
Okay.
We do. So we have a connection down at the SBA, and that is an organization that puts on a lot of programs called Boots to Business.
Oh, yeah, I know
And
about that.
and what
Right.
that means is they will work with veterans to get them established in looking towards starting their own business, for example. So it gives them all that training. There's advice on financing, on strategic plans for their business, and that sort of thing. And then they also have access to our SCORE volunteers, which are a group of very dedicated volunteers out of the prominent business community
That's right.
that they had worked in, who offer free advice. And what's very special about SCORE, it's a federally funded program, and it's completely free of charge for anybody who wants to take advantage of it. And they are just a wealth of knowledge. So we're able to help make that connection for our veterans as well.
You know, I just want to cycle back on that just for a second, because I've talked to a lot of people at SCORE, and they put together mentors.
Yes, they do.
That from all of the different disciplines, so that if a veteran coming back needs a business plan, needs a marketing plan, needs to make a presentation to a bank to be
Yes.
able to see if they can get financing, they go arm in arm with them.
They
to
do. They
to
do.
help them.
And we have a dynamic SCORE team
Well,
here
you're
that
right,
works out
sure.
of the chamber that we're very proud of, and they've helped many, many people.
That's Rich Sellers.
Yeah,
that's,
correct.
uh,
Richard Sellers.
So when and just going back over this for a second, when you've got the Chamber of Commerce at your back, and you have an organization within the Chamber of Commerce, the Veterans Business Council, saying to veterans, you come back, we were going to provide you with employment opportunities, educational opportunities, and support opportunities. That really says something, right?
It does, and I'm so incredibly proud of the Veterans Business Council and the Chamber as well for backing this effort that we've done. And again, we're going strong, and we're helping a lot of veterans, and we're very proud of that.
So, to sort of sum it up again, where we started with this, right?
Yeah.
It's nice to think about Veterans Day and Memorial Day,
You
and let's
bet
get the
it is.
family together. We've got a day off. How about thinking about what Denise here and her organization is doing to help our veterans assimilate back into society and take advantage of all the skills that they've developed by serving our country? That's pretty powerful stuff, right, Denise?
We owe them that.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah,
for
in my
sure.
opinion, anybody who raises their hand in service of this country deserves every bit of support, whether they are long-term or serve for 4 or 5, 6 years, or whether they retire after 40 years of service.
That's right.
You know, they all deserve our support, and we work really hard to make that happen.
Well, it's great to see you as always.
It's awesome to see you,
And
Jesse.
happy
Thank
Veterans
you.
Day.
Happy Veterans Day to you.
Good, thanks, Denise.
Thanks.
See this interview again. You can head to our website, looktvonline.com.